You can't have anything nice in week one. Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Will.
And today we are going over the week one recap because what the heck even happened this last weekend? I'm going to be completely honest. There was a lot of things that went on that I guess surprised us, didn't surprise us, depending on what it was.
I can't really say I'm surprised when I don't know what to expect, but
Even then, I was still surprised.
yeah, I think there were a few shocks here and there, but I mean, to dive into it, I would prefer to get mine out of the way first because I don't want to wait around to talk about it. So I guess just looking at Sunday night's Bills-Ravens game, I'll tell you one thing. Ravens offense looks pretty good. Defense has its moments, but there's...
How about them Ravens?
Listen, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers looked pretty good. Lamar Jackson looked pretty good. Just fell apart when it mattered. And admittedly to a very good Bills team, who I feel like struggled early, but had a really good fourth quarter. That was about the only quarter the Ravens didn't have a great quarter of. So
Just like the Ravens of old.
yeah,
You can't escape it.
so very, very painful game to watch. At least at the end, it was really fun for the first three quarters.
He was on cloud nine.
I was having a great time until a Derrick Henry fumbled threw everything out the window, plus a couple mistakes from some veteran players. Ravens got some stuff to clean up, but they've also, I feel like, struggled in like week one victories as well. So I think it definitely could be in a worse spot for Baltimore. Again, if you're Buffalo, Josh Allen still looks really good.
Yup.
I think there's still some concerns with Buffalo when you look at all four quarters. I mean, their offense was pretty efficient, but their run game was not great. Run defense was not great. Pass defense broke down at times, but how much of that is trying to overcorrect on the run game and just going against Lamar Jackson? So it's hard to judge this because they're two really good teams. So how much of it is these teams' run defenses suck or their pass defense sucks, when it could just be you're playing a really good team? It's hard to say. But yeah, Derrick Henry had over 100 yards in like the first quarter.
Yep.
Zay Flowers over 100 yards. Josh Allen almost 400 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I feel like I did a lot of yapping on it.
Well, it is your Ravens, so I let you go on a little tangent.
I mean, we were both there to watch it. But like, again, we were both there. We know what happened, and yeah, I don't know any other pieces you want to add to that, because
I did see the fan that hit DeAndre Hopkins and
got pushed by Lamar.
got suspended from every NFL stadium. So, I mean, I think that was pretty fair judgment right there.
Yeah. I think
reasonable penalty.
we had talked about that, and I think we said we wouldn't be surprised if they got banned. A part of me still expected something from Lamar just because the NFL doesn't like that sort of behavior, but nothing has happened in his direction, so I get nothing to complain about there. I think that's as far as it's been handled so far about what you could ask for. So, otherwise,
that's all I had for that game. If I'm gonna be
pain
completely
and
honest.
misery. That's about what that game was, and everyone wishing upon my team's downfall.
They showed who the true MVP was from last year.
Anyways, now we can go back to our normal progression. Going to the Thursday night opener of the Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles pull out a 24-20 win over the Cowboys in a game that was a lot closer than people, I think, or at least
Yeah.
you and I expected.
Yeah.
This one was a little confusing. Eagles looked a little sloppy.
It's like they were down a player or something.
Yeah, Jalen Carter got ejected after the kickoff.
Kickoff, yep.
He got fined a good sum of money.
He also got suspended a game, so he's out for the. Yeah.
No, they counted the Cowboys game as his suspension. He should be good to play next week against Kansas City.
Never mind.
So, yeah, I think they counted that as a suspension, which basically I think all that does means he just doesn't get pay for it.
Yeah.
Is all that really does. It doesn't change anything really else. But other than that, it's just a weird game. Like, Cowboys actually kept it close.
Mm-hmm.
CD still went 7 receptions for 110 yards, but had a career high in drops.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He had a bunch of butterfingers before the game or something.
He had was it 4 drops? Which
4, yeah.
Which again, he still went 7 for 110. So
It's not bad. It's just
I mean, it's
a lot of key drops, especially towards the end.
there were some key moments. Saquon had himself a poster board moment. I think I was surprised about a couple things. I think Dallas's O-line looked pretty solid week 1, at least in the run game.
Yeah.
And I think that helps Javonte Williams look pretty solid.
Yeah.
He was a lot better he had a lot better of a week than I think people expected. But
To be completely fair, no one really expected him to boom out of Denver because Javonte Williams was never really good in Denver. He was serviceable, but he wasn't great.
no. I'm looking around. Let's see. Another thing I think we didn't really expect, Dallas was able to actually create pressure without Micah Parsons. I don't know who really expected that, but it didn't look horrible. I think the person
Week
that
1 chaos. That's how I'd cough it up as.
I think the thing that was the most surprising to me though was Jalen Hurts and how
Yeah.
he looked great
Yes.
in that game. He looked completely different than I feel like anyone has seen out of him.
Yeah.
He was a lot of fun to watch. Unlike wide receiver 1 AJ Brown, who showed up
He
for
caught a pass.
he caught one pass on the third to last play of the game.
Third to last play.
I don't know what happened there. Fantasy users were
Very upset.
crying. So it was
It was something.
it was a debut. Obviously, there was the weather delay too. We started. I think that with the first half, we had
I lost an hour of sleep that night. I was not happy.
41 points in the first half, and then
3.
3 in the second.
Yep.
2 halves of football. So
This
Real-
is what we get.
a real interesting
This is what we get.
game. But move along to
I was about to say I'm anticipating us talking about this one specifically.
the Friday game of Chiefs and Chargers in Brazil. And
A lot happened, specifically with what happened. Usually between plays, honestly, that's usually where most of it went down. So Xavier Worthy out for a few weeks. Kelsey just went and dislocated his shoulder.
yeah, it was a dislocated shoulder.
Quite unfortunate for Xavier Worthy. Hope he recovers well. I mean, that's all we can hope at this point. And then between plays again, Travis Kelsey was pushing, I think it was Tart, and those two were kind of going at it just a little bit, and then Tart just went full on slap Kelsey in the face, and Kelsey, overreacted like usual, looked for a flag, and there wasn't a flag. What?
Yeah, I feel like they've been much more heavy on the flags of retaliation.
Yes.
And also the other thing I've noticed is taunting
taunting has been a big one I've seen.
Although the past, I think the last 2 games of the week, I think they really eased up on taunting, because I saw several times I was like, really? They're not calling taunting on that, but they called taunting on all this
I
other
think it
stuff
was
this
just
week.
they noticed that people were not happy about it, and then they started to let it slide just a
It
little bit.
just felt
Especially, I understood the taunting, especially with Dallas and Philadelphia. You're always going to get some scuffle or something there, but later in the week, it just kind of depended.
it just seemed inconsistent to
Yeah.
me, where there's some instances of yeah, that seemed like it should have been, and it wasn't. Compared to the light stuff we saw.
Oh yeah,
throughout the
definitely.
other.
But Kansas City, unfortunately, couldn't get it done. Chargers pull off a victory here. Justin Herbert. I know we talked a bit about Justin Herbert, especially during a live stream. I said that I would choose Baker Mayfield over Justin Herbert. Do I need to reconsider my options yet, or should I wait a few weeks and see what kind of Justin Herbert we get this year? Because he looked a little savvy. I don't know how else to describe it.
I thought you were gonna pull out the Mahomes. I was like, don't do it.
No, I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, he had a good week against a good team, obviously.
Supposedly good team.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to say that the Chiefs aren't going to be any good.
They're always going to be good, or at least in recency, they're always going to be good.
I mean, it's Mahomes and Reed. It's
Yeah.
hard to say that they're not going to be a good team.
And the thing is that with Brazil games, you're never going to know who's going to win. And that's what happened with last year with Green Bay and Philadelphia. I honestly didn't know who was going to win that game. Same here. This is a neutral site. You're all traveling to Brazil, and yeah, it's not going to be pretty.
Does this mean that the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl? Because the Eagles won.
The Chargers want to win their first Super Bowl. Are they going to have more than 10 fans in their stadium?
Who knows? But yeah, I think it was a little surprising how effective they were.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised how, especially with Worthy out, how the Chiefs kind of struggled.
Yeah.
Honestly, surprising player to me was Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, Johnson did pretty well.
He had 2 touchdown catches.
He found his hands. It only took 3 years.
He's steadily gotten better, and I think Herbert. If Herbert does, I think Herbert could make a lead. He could beat a lot of allegations this year, because again, it's another year with Harbaugh. He still has some stuff to learn. I think, with what he had dealt with coaching prior, and what he has now, I think he's actually going to have some stuff to learn that's going to help him become a really good quarterback.
Yeah, and a lot of people were just saying he's a social media quarterback. Honestly, it did make sense for the first few years, because he was good, but he wasn't great. There's just a lot of wishy-washy stuff. And he also had Brandon Staley as his head coach, so I gave him a little slack there. But yeah, that was the big surprise. Probably the quote-unquote upset of the week unless you think there's a better one.
I mean, I
just
don't know.
I
if
can't
you-
remember off the top of my head.
I don't know if you call it an upset of the week when
Like,
I mean,
was-
you even called that one.
Yeah,
don't
I
think it
called
was-
that one.
I don't
I said
think-
Chargers were going to win this one. 'cause
I don't think it
neutral
was
side.
too. I think it was an upset, but not like a.
It wasn't a major one.
It was
an
I
unexpected.
think this one was a
upset.
lot more balanced, and especially being in Brazil, I think this was a lot more balanced of a game.
Yeah.
This one still even to me was like a 50-50. I just went with the Chiefs because I'm like,
You
it's
don't
the
bet against the Chiefs. You don't bet.
But I don't know. We're in a weird place. I like a little foreshadowing, but Chiefs are at the bottom of the division
yeah.
as the only team to lose in week 1. But moving along, we can look at the
the
Buccaneers in the.
Oh. I was
I
looking
was.
somewhere else. I'm looking at Pick'em leagues.
Oh, I'm going
That's-
based off of just ESPN.
We can talk about Bucks and
All right.
Falcons.
So looking at the Buccaneers and the Falcons.
Falcons gonna Falcon.
Falcons drove down the field like they were down 3.
Yep.
And they made a great effort of getting down the field for a last second field goal, and Younghoe Koo missed it wide right, and I was like, oh no. I don't know really how to feel about this because I thought if the Buccaneers were going to win, it was going to be pure just offense. Leading receiver in this game was Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
Your leading rusher was Baker Mayfield. I don't know. I don't know what
We live in a world.
we do live in a world. I know Mika Ibuka had a pretty solid game with a big touchdown later in the game. Mm-hmm. I think is what, and I think that's what put them up. But it was a good game. Came down to the wire. Dramatic finish.
Yep.
And I think both teams could potentially be good. I just don't know. I don't trust Todd Bowles still, so
Nope. Still don't.
it's going to be 50-50 with him. But Falcons, I guess, are also not in a place where they're at least fully ready to take the division, maybe.
Baby steps.
As-
baby steps.
As a way too early judgment of week 1 and the season. And I was like,
Like I said, week 1 doesn't matter as much as people think it does.
no, and this is why I hate week 1, is you can watch week 1 and you're like,
This team's really good, and then they do the Saints what they did last year.
yeah, it's like you think after watching a week of football, you're like, all right, this is what the NFL is going to look like this year. And then in about 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be completely different, which
Which is nice.
I feel like will be the case in a few games to talk about, or in one game specifically that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, Buccaneers Falcons division rivalry. Can't say it disappointed.
No.
We can go talk about another division rivalry though, with the like you had started to mention the Bengals and Browns.
Bengals winning week 1. Interesting.
Bengals winning week 1 because the Browns browned harder than I think I may have ever seen. They lost in such horrible fashion. The Bengals won week 1 because the Browns refused to win. The
They said, here, hold this.
Browns, they had 4 points left on the board by their kicker.
Yep.
Which kicker is also just an interesting topic this week.
You can say that again.
Bengals offense did not do much.
I don't think they existed, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Joe Burrow, like if you look at fantasy, Joe Burrow was under 9 points.
Chase was terrible in fantasy-wise.
I think Jamar and T were both under like 5 points in fantasy.
That's crazy.
It was a miserable week. Chase Brown was the leading rusher with 43 yards and a touchdown on 21 carries. He averaged 2 yards a carry. It was not, and Joe Flacco had 2 interceptions. I only saw one of them, which was a drop.
Bengals have a defense, or is it just the Browns?
It was a pass to Cedric Tillman that he dropped, tipped up, and then
That's Browns,
DJ
yeah.
Turner went and swiped it, and
That's
so
the
it's like
Browns. That's Browns.
it's the Browns browned so hard, And I just
Sucks to suck, I guess. I don't know.
I
Maybe just don't do that.
I feel like we're back to the Browns of old. Again,
I don't like it, but, you know.
way too early assessment of the year. But Browns back to the old Browns, and Stefanski could potentially.
Stefanski's currently the hottest seat right now.
He could be on the hot seat. The team is not good, so
No.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But
All right.
indeed.
I have the Dolphins and the Colts next on my list.
This
This
is-
is the one that I want to talk about.
This
Indiana Jones.
this is the one that I feel like is probably. I feel like the Colts could be like the Saints from last year, where they look really good.
Through the first couple weeks, and then they just go.
I really do think like
This is probably what's happening.
okay.
I did say the Colts were the AFC Saints.
We have said that. The thing here is, I went with the Colts last week
You did.
because I thought that I truly believed like, oh yeah, the Dolphins are just going to be a miserable team this year, and then you sit and you look and you're like, Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, how are they going to be miserable on offense? And then they go and put up 8 points, and I go, right, that's how. Because this team, like, their offense
Booty.
was so bad. Tua had, what was it?
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua had a miserable day. Absolutely abysmal. And, like, I don't know.
I feel a bunch of shame picking the Dolphins to beat the Colts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought at least it'd be close, but this was not close whatsoever.
And there was a lot of unexpected here. I mean, because I honestly thought it was going to be Colts rely on Jonathan Taylor, not Daniel Jones comes out and has actually like a good game.
No,
Again, admittedly against a Dolphins team that has severely regressed over the past 2 years, and I think that that's going to kind of boost it, but.
Richardson's not getting his job back.
It's going to be tough for him to get his job back. Again, I think Daniel Jones could also it could be the case of going against a bad team. He looks really good, but in like 2-3 weeks, Daniel Jones could be back to Daniel Jones things, or he might actually have earned a starting role.
The fact that he didn't throw an interception or fumbled or did anything negative towards his team.
But it is the Dolphins.
It is the Dolphins, but still, the Daniel Jones has been known
For turnovers.
for turnovers, and he did not commit one.
Yeah, he had a good game. My question is, are the Colts going to be able to do what the Saints did last year and trick everyone, play some good weeks of football and trick people into putting them in their top 10 before they tank?
Yeah.
Or are the Colts actually going to be any good? That would be weird.
That would be weird, and I don't know if I would like it.
But
I don't want to think about it too much.
If you're the Dolphins, I mean, there's memes going around about
It's rebuild time.
there's memes about McDaniels turning to Zach Wilson and going, "You ready?" And honestly,
I mean, with
having
this,
to choose between Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers as your quarterback for, hopefully it doesn't get to them for that, but
yeah. Moving on. This is an exciting game. Raiders and Patriots. So we had two young teams, or
yeah,
originally young teams, and then Raiders got a little older, a little bit, especially with their coach. I'm not too surprised that this happened, but I thought the Patriots would do a little bit. Well, they did okay. I mean, Henderson, I had him on fantasy. He did pretty well. Ashton Dente, he also did really well. So two rookie running backs doing really well. That's what we want to see.
I mean, Genti, I wouldn't say Genti did really well. He got a touchdown, but I mean, he averaged 2 yards a carry. It was not really the debut he would have.
No, it wasn't.
But
he
showed up when it mattered.
Yeah, he showed up when it mattered. And that's kind of the point I was trying to make. Not he was really well, but these two just. I was surprised that they did as well as they did.
Yeah.
Raiders definitely at the moment besides the Colts, are a kind of a dark horse for the AFC at the moment. At the moment.
I feel like these two teams are in very similar levels.
They're on similar levels when it comes to new team structure.
I mean, just like where they really like where I would rank them. I think they're in a similar spot. I think the Patriots are a little bit below because they're still missing a couple pieces.
I think the Patriots are a couple steps lower. I think the Raiders are probably in that mid range.
Well, yeah, I also have the.
Like I said, with how they performed, they're middle of the pack. I'm going to be completely honest. But then again, week 1 doesn't matter because who knows? In 2 weeks or 3 weeks, this ain't going to be the same.
Yeah.
So,
but Gino threw for 360 yards.
Yeah, he did amazing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the Raiders. I mean, sure it was the Patriots, but like for a team that just randomly threw things together, kind of worked out pretty well. I mean, you got Pete Carroll back out of quote unquote retirement to become coach, so
yeah,
it worked. It worked. So, all right. So the next game that I have on list is Commanders and Giants. So I think the Giants are cursed.
Yeah, this is a game that I meant to look at more because
this one was a bit of a funky one.
I saw that the Commanders won pretty comfortably, and so definitely. I wasn't surprised, which I wasn't surprised about. I kind of expected that. What I kind of wanted to look at is I feel like Russell Wilson was getting a lot of smack about.
Yeah, because he wasn't performing very well, apparently. I saw the score, like, just kept looking at the score bug. Nothing really changed for that entire game, so I was just like, okay, the Giants just suck this year. Like always. So I don't know if it was just the Commanders' defense was just really good or if it was just the Giants had nothing on offense besides Scatterboo. I did see the Scatterboo runs, though. He's going to have CTE by the age of 27.
Now, when you say nothing but Scatterboo, have you looked at his stats, though, from the game?
I know it wasn't great. Like I know it wasn't great, but like he's the only one who's like actually putting effort on that offense. At the moment that I've seen so far.
Their team is not fleshed out enough. Because
even Neighbors didn't do too much.
He was 5 for 70 yards, so he had a decent game, but it's not
a decent game, but it wasn't like
it wasn't last year's.
Yeah, it wasn't outstanding like it was last year.
Yeah, I don't know I didn't really get to see much of this game, and so it was kind of weird. Again, it's a division game. Debo had a good game though. Good kind of return to the spotlight. It was 7 for 77 with a rush of 19 and a touchdown.
Yep.
So I think he had a pretty good game. Terry McLaurin had a little bit quiet overnight, which I feel like just isn't surprising when receivers get big contracts.
Yep.
Or big extensions. Or anyone really gets big extensions is they kind of just don't, especially when it's like a late signing late in the offseason. We often see kind of a poorer performance early on in the season. So we'll see. I feel like he might struggle a little bit early in the year, but I feel like he'll bounce back later.
Yep, you better pick it up because I have him on fantasy.
But yeah, Debo looks pretty good.
Debo's all right.
So did Krosky Merritt. 10 carries for 82 yards. Mm-hmm. An average of 8.2 per carry is pretty good in the NFL.
Yep.
Again, you are playing the Giants, we still have to
easier.
We have to see how bad I guess that team is.
Yes.
Abdul Carter.
Let's not get started on that guy.
He had a little bit quiet of a day,
but I can't wait to see him like actually click in the NFL, just like start wrecking crews. Yeah. Cardinals and Saints.
Oh God,
this one I just don't want to talk about too much because it was just not just a snooze fest, but also Cardinals almost lost to the Saints. At least that's what it was looking towards the end.
It was a lot closer than it should have been but like I guess Saints didn't look horrible.
No.
Rattler 46 attempts, but he still had 27 completions for 214 yards. I mean, how much of this is the Cardinals kind of just not being where they need to be?
Yeah.
And how much is it the Saints not being as disappointing as we expected? Again, week 1, hard to say. I think there was not a lot. There's not a lot to highlight in this game because, like you mentioned, it's if at most it's just kind of disappointing for the Cardinals. But
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you have anything else you wanted to add on top of that. But
No.
just
No. Let's see here.
now this one.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm assuming you're looking at Steelers and Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell if it's okay. No, I can't tell. Jets offense is pretty good.
I mean, Justin Fields had a pretty good game. Garrett Wilson almost had 100 yards and a touchdown. Brees Hall had over 100 yards. The only thing that didn't show up, which I feel like is really new for the Jets, was their defense. That was like the one thing that didn't seem to click. But also, how good really is the Steelers' defense this year? Because I think that's going to be the thing to look at. Is that's kind of looking at that.
If you let
But
the Jets put 32 up on your defense, that's a bit concerning.
and it's the Steelers, so like
They're notorious for having a great defense, and yet you let the Jets put 32 on you?
yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day,
These are new teams.
they're new teams, and it's week 1, and we get this revenge game that is taken by Aaron Rodgers, who did really have a good game. I think as much as a lot of people hate it.
Yeah, no, the thing is that when I saw online the immediate flip of like, oh, I always knew he was going to be good with the Steelers. No, you didn't.
No,
You were trashing him not a week ago. I'm still on the fence with this guy because I know for a fact that something's not right here. I don't trust the Steelers right now.
I mean, yeah, I don't trust him either. I wouldn't be surprised if he was good because he's not on the Jets. I mean, when you think about it, he had one bad season when he wasn't on the Jets. So I wouldn't be a big surprise if he goes to back to a legitimate team and does well, especially because, again, he's Aaron Rodgers. As much as people dislike how he has acted the past few years and how the last 2 looked, he's still potentially a part of the same Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not on fully board with that because
I'm not saying that he is.
No, I know.
I'm saying he could be.
I just don't want to think he is because, wow, you beat the Jets by 2 points. Wow. Like, I'm not, it's a win, but it's not super impressive. I was more impressed that the Jets were actually able to put over 30 points up on the board against a Steelers defense. That's what I was impressed of. I was less impressed of what the Steelers did.
I'm just surprised both of these teams that have not been able to put together like good offenses put together a really good offensive showing in week 1. So.
I just don't. I don't know.
I don't know how to assess it. I don't know what.
I don't trust Aaron Rodgers because I've seen this. I've played these games before, as the quote would say, because we've seen what Aaron Rodgers can do when he has a couple great weeks, or at least in the last couple of years, and then he just falls off the face of the earth. Granted, it was the Jets that he was a part of. I personally, the reason why I don't like this game is the how it was received outside of the game, because people, like I said, people were like they flipped on a dime. 1 minute they were like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is bad. He was terrible on the Jets. Blah 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 blah. He'll never be good." And then after the game, he's like, "I knew he was going to be great because the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl." I don't like those kind of people.
I mean-
like, choose your opinion and stick with it. Don't be a wuss and change it last minute.
I mean, it's
Stick with your gut.
I think again, a lot of it is not knowing, and this is kind of just more like for people who say I knew when they clearly
Who
didn't know is annoying.
It's also
but,
week 1, so none of this matters right now.
But again, the deal with the Steelers is we just didn't really know, and we don't still fully know. But again, it's Aaron Rodgers. But I will say, personally, not a fan of Steelers fans.
No, I'm not either. No offense to you guys. I know there's some good Steelers fans. Don't get me wrong. There's some good fans of every fan base. It's always the loud ones. The loud, obnoxious ones who think that they're going to go to the Super Bowl every single year and win. When, for example, Exhibit A, Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since, 1997, or hasn't won a playoff game since then. You have the 49ers, who are a year longer than the Cowboys drought. Then you have the Steelers, who haven't won a Super Bowl since 2009, 10, or whatever it was. It's been over a decade. Where are you at? I don't want to hear anything. Go and win something first.
All right. Well, moving on from that history lesson, we can go on to the Jags and the Panthers.
I was supposed to be a history teacher. Don't you forget that. It's just
this. I don't know. Travis Etienne was good.
yeah.
And that's about. I guess the Jags defense also showed up because Trevor Lawrence did not look great. This is like the opposite of what you wanted. Is you don't really care if you win, but you want Trevor to look good. And this is
the opposite of what we want. But the thing is that, like we said many times already, it's week 1. Maybe it's just week 1 jitters that he's just trying to get out because,
I mean, he came off an injury.
He did come off an injury, and Cohen is going to have a lot of work to put into Trevor Lawrence because he's a project. If you want to become the face of a franchise, you got to get him back to the fundamentals and get him right back on it because the last couple of years he's not been clicking whatsoever. It's something that he needs to work on, and I want to believe Trevor Lawrence is good. I want to believe that he can be a great quarterback. It's just these games don't help that case. Like he's gotta do something.
Yeah, it was not a super pretty game for him. It wasn't a pretty game really at all for the Panthers.
No, it was just not a pretty game. Period. Like it wasn't a pretty game.
Especially with there was a delay. I didn't actually get to see what the delay was for. But yeah, this game was not great to watch.
No.
And I mean, if you're the Jaguars, it's a win. I think really more than anything, though, the takeaway is the Panthers looked a lot worse. I feel like this looks like they lost all momentum from last year, but
week one.
I
gotta keep that mindset. It's week 1.
Moving along to the Broncos and Titans.
So the score is a little deceiving. Kind of. It kind of depends on when you look at this game, because the Broncos no-fly zone was pretty good for the most part.
I mean, we saw a Broncos defense that didn't allow any touchdowns, but that's also against a Titans offense who we didn't expect to really be great.
Points, yeah. We didn't expect them to put up 12 points, to be completely honest. I thought they'd be more like 9 points.
Yeah, I mean, double digits was even
double digits stretch. Was a little, much. Especially with this defense. I think it was, what is it? Yeah, there was a lot of people who were blaming Cam Ward for the loss. I don't think that was him at all. I think there was just a lot of pressure on that rookie quarterback. I mean, what do you expect him to do? It's just like how people were treating Bryce Young his first year. Granted, Bryce Young is a bit but I mean, it's the same thing. Like, you don't just bash your quarterback because he's a rookie and it's his first. You can't. Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud are like two of the few exceptions that you see a rookie quarterback just ball out his first year.
And that's with really good coaching and some good weapons
And
around
that's
him.
the other thing. Like, he's got good coaches and everything. Or those two have good coaches.
Titans, I think they
what
have Cam
coach?
Ward, and that's like
Cam Ward is their only bright spot, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I'll admit their defense looked pretty good. And maybe
Yeah, it
it's-
definitely clicked a
Maybe it was a
little bit.
Broncos offense that was slow to get going,
I still don't trust that Broncos offense.
but I think the Titans defense is going to be other than seeing what Cam Ward can do. I think the Titans defense might actually be able to make some games interesting.
They'll keep it close for sure.
It's going to make it seem really painful for games wise because I feel like you're going to get like
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of like 10 to 14 games or
I mean, that's what you kind of want out of your first year, at least for a rookie quarterback. You want him to get that like the almost satisfaction of winning. Like, you want him to like want the wins.
So
but you
for
gotta earn 'em.
him in a morale and a growth state, winning is good. But as what you're hoping for as a team and a fan base is you want him to be able to basically win you games and not have to rely on your defense completely.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like we've said, week 1. Moving on.
this okay.
Are you looking at Seahawks and?
Yeah, this game
This is a bit of an interesting one.
there okay, before we even get into like the actual details of what happened in the game, we saw what was it? Brock Purdy sustained an injury. George Kittle has sustained an injury, and which ended up he's been put on IR, so he's going to be out a few weeks.
Great, I have him on fantasy.
And I think the thing that surprised me the most is we talked about kickers struggling. The 49ers kicker, Jake Moody, he had a missed field goal and a blocked field goal, I believe. They released him.
They cut him.
And I think that was surprising because a year or two ago he was being praised as a really good kicker.
He was a killer. Oh, okay. But he's like you said, he was a great kicker, and I think it was just. I think that was a little too quick on the draw for that.
I mean, there potentially is a really good kicker on the market now.
Anybody want to pick him up? Browns? It's just
Browns, honest.
Browns?
Yeah, they should really look into that because
they need one. But Sam Darnold, what did you think about him? Because I'm curious what you have to say.
It's tough to say. The 49ers defense looked pretty good.
Yeah, solid for what they had lost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they looked pretty solid. The Seahawks, they're missing pieces. Darnold lost the game in not a great fashion, but I think the Seahawks had some moments. I don't know. I think there's still some concerns. I think they're probably going to still be like a middle of the back kind of team.
Yeah. And you still have time to, especially a lot of time, I would hope, to work on Jalen Milroe, because don't cast him into the fire quite yet because he needs some time to develop. So I think Sam Darnold's a good bridge quarterback.
I think Darnold should suffice for at least this year, unless it gets worse from what it was. I mean, again,
it's.
Your receiving core is not the greatest. JSN had a good game, but I mean it's also a division game, so don't want to jump, especially with it being week 1. It's hard to jump on stuff because those games are tough. But again, looking at it, Brock Purdy did pretty well. CMC a lot better than at least I suspected he would be this week, especially with the coming down to the wire on the injury and stuff. But they squeak one out with some unconventional play, and Seahawks have some things to look at. But you want to, God, I don't know if this was the most surprising, but It was
It was something.
it was the most just like
Well,
yeah. Lions losing to the Packers 27-13 and
so I okay, yes, I did call it, but not in the sense of like it being this bad. Week 1 predictions, I had the Packers winning because losing an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator the same offseason is going to be not as good. And I didn't know how good Dan Campbell was. So people were quick to jump the gun and say that Dan Campbell is a washed coach. Like I said, make up your mind, please. I think the Packers are pretty solid. Because they are.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons with that sack on Jared Goff. Yeah, that's literally a lion coming after a gazelle right there. Like, you can't run from it. Like, bro was on the prowl. So the Packers in general, I wasn't able to watch this game. Was it more an offensive showing or a defensive showing?
it was kind of both. The Lions really did not look great. I mean,
No.
they had 6 points through 3 quarters. This game was wrapped up, I feel like, pretty early.
Oh, yeah. This was a pretty well and done game from
Packers,
what I saw.
they started out hot. They continued through. I mean, they only it's a 14-point win, which is a pretty good win. But I feel like this was way more in the Packers' control than it even seems on paper, because the Lions didn't look great. I have some concerns for them going forward. Not that they're going to be like a bottom 5 team, but like maybe much more middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And much more middle of the pack honestly could put them, with how this division looks, could land them in last.
It could, yeah.
Packers looked really good. I think something I said on Sunday, I don't think it was on stream, but when watching the games, was I still need to see Jordan Love play a full 4 quarters of football for 3 straight weeks, and then I'll have a decision on if he's truly grown to be the quarterback that Green Bay needs in order to win a Super Bowl. But I mean, again, this team was not the team. It's not like the team was missing a lot of pieces.
What it sounded like, it was just more they had a lot to use, and Jordan Love didn't really have to do too much.
I mean, it's
I don't know. That's what I've heard. I didn't get to see the game, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Again, Packers defense was good, and their offense was good, and this is kind of how they've been. Is they've not been really bad on either side of the ball, yet they still were losing games.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just about playing consistently and finishing games.
Yes.
And again, a lot of that comes down to your quarterback, because your quarterback is a large deciding factor in games. He touches the ball every down on offense, so that it's just
99% of them.
it's a major factor in the game. So, we'll have to. I still want to see how he looks, but Packers look a lot scarier than the Lions do right now.
Oh,
And
I'm curious to see how the North kind of
potentially
shakes out.
could be contenders.
They're definitely contenders. They're not Super Bowl bound yet. Like I said, week 1.
Yeah, we still got to see. But we'll move along to the Texans and Rams. This one was kind of ugly. I mean, Puka had a good game.
Yeah, and who else?
This game was just sloppy.
Yeah, it was really sloppy football. Texans couldn't do anything on offense.
I have some concerns for the Texans, but their defense seemed to have done pretty well. The last 5 minutes of this game was ridiculous. Rams go. Actually, it wasn't even the last 5 minutes. It was last 3 minutes. Rams went from being able to at least go up 8, could have gone up by as much as 2 scores. You fumble the ball. give it to the Texans. Texans are driving down the field, and then they fumble the ball, and the game ends on a Puka Nacua conversion that gives them a new set of downs that ends the game. And it's just like,
What?
for a 14-9 game, I expected, like, I don't know. I feel like the epitome of like week one.
Oh, this is week one.
This is like both of these teams were just sloppy, and
This is where things need to really get serious. But it's always week one. So I'm assuming these teams are better than what they performed as. At least that's the hope, because
I think for the
I don't want
Rams,
to see that. See that for the rest of the season.
I think Texans again are going to be a little bit more middle of the pack this year.
Oh, they definitely are.
Or I mean, I guess they were kind of middle of the pack.
No,
last
they've
year
always
too, but
they've kind of been. It's just they've been winning their division because their division is just weak.
But
So.
yeah, this. I mean, the Rams start off with a win, and I think that is really your only major takeaway. Is again when stuff is sloppy like that. Okay, let me see a little bit more to determine if it's just rough week one or if that's how the team's going to be. Texans O-line doesn't help.
Nope.
So, yeah, not much else I have on that one. And we close it out with Monday Night Football. Vikings Bears.
I got to watch this live. That was some sort of game, huh?
That was, listen, I think it's really tough if you're a Bears fan to watch that.
Really?
But I think both sides have a lot to be optimistic about because again, it sucks as a Bears fan to kind of collapse like that. But
we're booing them off the field.
Caleb Williams actually, like, your offense actually looks it looked a lot better than it did last year. Your defense, still pretty good. I kind of expected if their offense was going to be good, their defense would take a step back. On both sides of the ball, you seemed pretty good. You weren't able to close the game, but you had played kind of.
They let up, was it 21 points?
21 points in the fourth quarter. But again, this is also, you have to question how much of that is also just, I mean, you're going against the Vikings, who have kind of a stacked roster, a really good coach, who is training his basically rookie quarterback, who has been 16-0 since losing in the national championship.
Yep.
Like, he's a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
And yes, he had maybe the worst interception thrown, one of the worst interceptions thrown this week.
To the defense.
And it was not pretty, but he bounced back in the fourth quarter and put on a hell of a show.
Oh.
And if you're Minnesota, I mean, obviously some caution, but I think there's a good amount of optimism. So I think coming out of this game, again, if you're the Bears, you're a little disappointed, but I think both of these teams have a lot of optimism going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Bears right now looking like potentially like a third place team in this division.
At the moment.
Like, I think, honestly, I feel like the Lions are the worst looking team out of the NFC North this week. And I feel like that's gross to say after last year, but
yeah, they were kind of due to fall off a little bit at some point because, like, with how they somehow got to 15 wins with all those injuries is kind of ridiculous.
Bad juju catching up, or I guess not bad juju, but it's like
everybody has their ups and downs. It's a roller coaster.
The black magic is coming back around.
The Chiefs have doomed us all.
But yeah, Vikings, Bears, I think both sides have positive sides. Caleb didn't look too bad.
He wasn't selling the game.
Yeah, it was a solid game. I think it was fun. I think it was a fun game. And NFC North is still going to be fun to watch going forward. Hopefully the Packers just don't completely demolish and steamroll, but we'll see. But that is week 1 in the books, and a couple of heartbreaks. We had actually a good amount of close games.
Yes.
An exciting game, so we might actually be in for a good season. I think the ones that weren't super close were like surprisingly not close.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Colts Dolphins. What happened? What's going on?
Happened?
And it's just, I still don't know what to expect. It happens every year, but I don't know what to expect from most of the NFL after week 1, and I was really hoping for some clarity. There's not much.
None whatsoever.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. That's what I take away from this. But anyways, it's been a pleasure. We look forward to getting into week 2 and
It's already been 1 week. That's crazy.
talking about how things are going forward. But thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is the week 1 recap, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.